Hey, back here at NICC 2022 and with good friend, Greg McCutcheon. Greg and I have sat around a table at the podcast many times before, so this is an easy one to do. Greg's the president of Opta Intelligence Services, or Information Services, sorry, which is part of Verisk. And that's kind of, Greg, where I want to dive into too, because you now partnered with Verisk, you've made a sale, and there is going to be some other news coming out about that relationship. So let's get into that and what that means.
Yeah, we're really excited about it, Peter, because in March of last year, Verisk acquired Opta Information Intelligence. We're Canada's largest provider of property information on both commercial and personal lines. And, it's the scale that Verisk brings to us and the cultural likeness of our two firms. Our heritage goes back to the Insurance Advisory Organization, founded in the 1890s. They were the ISO group owned by the U.S. industry, founded in the 1890s as well. So the same products, fire protection, property analytics, claims history support, the suite of services that Verisk brings is something that we're already leveraging in the Canadian market, taking U.S.-based products that are tried, trusted, and true, and Canadianizing them to help enhance underwriting solutions. So more to come, but we will be rebranding the organization to Verisk next year. And lots of good things to discuss in that regard.
Absolutely, that's exciting news, Greg. But let's talk a little bit about the current things. And you guys are the leader for information intelligence for the insurance industry in Canada. Mm-hmm. You've been going around helping different entities in the ecosystem right now, dealing with some of the ideas of rating and inflation and what that means, right? This has been a big challenge as TIVs, inflationary pressures come in. What have you been helping organizations do, and what is some of the methodology and sort of structure you've been giving them to use as tools?
Well, Opta has the ability to absorb a whole portfolio of property and do a health check, so to speak, on it, and tell the insurers on a policy-by-policy basis which ones are not only underinsured, but with now some of these new services I was talking about, Verisk, to tell you that in advance of renewal, a massive permit has been taken out on this location, or a massive addition was put on. Also, Verisk has been able to bring 5-centimeter aerial imagery to our suite of services. So through that and artificial intelligence, we can tell you that a home's been torn down and rebuilt, for example, which is something that public record doesn't often obtain for 3 years. It was always something that when these types of massive renovations were occurring on either a commercial or residential building, it was sometimes hard for us to understand, because while we're Canada's largest inspection company too, we don't inspect every place. So right. Being able to have access to this type of permit aerial imagery is exciting. So we've been really focused on that. And also, this isn't just on the residential side. We've been doing a lot of insurance value work on the commercial side. There's lots of opportunity to support brokers to be able to cut down the time it takes to do a business submission. We just brought a product to market last week called Commercial Lightspeed. Again, product from the United States that we've been able to Canadianize. But it uses artificial intelligence, goes across the Internet of Things, reads everything about the business, understands and interprets photographs, classifies the business in seconds, which would take a broker up to 3 hours to do in the past. So those are the types of services we're really managing. Inflation continues to be, we just saw it went down to 3.1, now it's back to 4. It seems to be a bit of a bouncing ball. I think the thing that we have to track there is consumers that were used to spending 2% on their mortgages are now sometimes up to 5.5%, 6%. There's a lot of household pressure on people right now, and that causes its own unique challenges for our insurance industry to help people through this time. So there's a lot going on. So tons of speaking on inflation that I've been doing over the last 12 months. I really think that our industry is at a time where we're at a crossroads, I believe. And I think that we've gone through a lot of technological hurdles. Most of the industry has completed their guidewire implementations, for example. They have the platforms now to embrace technology. Generative AI is here. Yep. I think we're all sitting wondering what that means for people, but exciting opportunity for us. We know more about properties in Canada than any other organization, and we just want to continue to embed ourselves in the workflow to make it easy to do business with, and then keep coming to market with new solutions that enhance underwriting.
So, Greg, one of the things you mentioned about commercial Lightspeed is brokers using it. Traditionally, a lot of the services and data you've provided have been to the carrier side. Are you seeing a lot more of the larger brokers, the more innovative brokers, wanting to access data to get at the front of the line with better submissions and stuff to those carriers and sort of work more collaboratively with them with better data sources such as yours?
Absolutely, and I'm so excited to be able to offer the services, but to see the broker channel have the technological ability to do it, which was a bit of a barrier, and also to offer a price point to brokers to make it cost effective to be able to get access to this data. Because historically we were pricing everything more normally to the insurance marketplace. We had to look at the distribution channel and find ways to get the price point right to make it easy. But it's a simple return on investment. You're spending, for a broker on a small commercial submission, can spend up to 3 hours going out to the internet, looking at all kinds of different sources, and still not often having the correct data for submission, which leads to a delay in getting price. We have the ability to make that down to seconds, minutes, and really drive efficiency.
What it does is it helps, and obviously people in this, viewers know I'm biased to the broker channel because I've been one for so long, but it actually helps broker focus on the other things around the sales and service experience rather than talking about things the clients don't want to think about.
Right.
And that's the best part.
Yeah.
It changes the dynamic, and I think that's a big value add for brokers. And insurance is a glacial pace of change. And brokers always want change, but this is the first one I think they can take to really make a difference in their customer experience, because it's an easy way to leverage data as opposed to enterprise integration within their BMS systems and stuff. This is something that's a call out to you guys, it works in, and it adds value to those sales things. That's exciting stuff, Greg. With the rebranding, you mentioned that happening in 2024. Any surprises, big news that's going to happen, things that we can expect with that?
So far as we've been talking about the acquisition with Verisk, it's been received really, really positively because, again, Verisk's position in the United States marketplace is unique to say the least. Rates, rules, and forms. Verisk helps the U.S. industry with all the rate filing in 50 states, which is laborious because unlike here where property isn't regulated, it is in the United States. And by the way, their wordings help the U.S. industry avoid business interruption claims because they foresaw a black swan event, 15 years before it occurred, and those wordings actually were challenged in the Supreme Courts, and then they stood up. So I just think it's going to bring the good news, and what you can expect to see is more robust services and scale that we were a small company before. We bootstrapped this organization for the last decade. Having Verisk support is going to make us even more innovative, I believe.
Fantastic. Greg, thanks so much for stopping by again. Good to see you.
Yeah, pleasure to be at NICC together.
Exactly. Seem we're bumping into each other everywhere, and look forward to seeing you at the next one. Take care. Thanks so much.